Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. There are thousands of us across our state who require a level of support on par with a nursing home. The support may be needed for a number of reasons, including medical care or decision making. For some people, a nursing home is the answer they're looking for, but not for all. And that's where Vermont's Comforts of Home program comes into play. It's a program that makes community living possible for those of us who need individualized services. To learn more, I'm joined by the director of Vermont Comforts of Home, Marie Zura. Marie has spent more than 30 years working for both the independence and inclusion of some of the most vulnerable in our state. Thank you for coming in. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and explaining a little bit more about Vermont Comforts of Home for home.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how it started and its history.
Well, about 2.5 years ago, two of peers of mine from Lincoln Street Incorporated and Upper Valley Services got together and talked about the need of Vermonters across the state, older Vermonters, that maybe nursing home care wasn't what they were looking for or the best match. And we had 30 years experience working with a model called shared living, and we really felt like this would be an opportunity to extend that model and meet the needs of some older Vermonters.
So you had been working at the Howard Center for decades.
Yes.
And these were your peers.
They
and
were
you're
my
saying,
peers.
What are the gaps and what do we need to fill and what's the best program?
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So best practices. And this was also born out of was it the Brandon?
It was the Brandon Training School that we closed back in 1990, and well, 93 I think it closed. And we used this model to bring people back to their home communities. So we have a lot of experience knowing, the positives, the challenges, and we wanted to extend that.
So tell us a little bit more about who the program serves.
Well, it's for people who require nursing home level of care. So it's anybody who is over the age of 18 and has that type of care need. And we're looking to join those individuals with people around the state who are willing to open their home and provide that care.
Oh. And you actually were telling me about a woman who was in the hospital for nearly a year, who you were able to serve. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, it was a woman. She was up at the medical center 331 days. She didn't need, there was not a medical reason for her to be there, but there was no good alternative for her. And so we found someone who went up, spent time with her, got to know her and her needs, and opened her home, and it was a wonderful success story. She was in one room or walking the halls, and she was able to be in someone's home and get back out into the community, go to lunch, walk through the grocery store, be with family pets, and it was a great success.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about the qualifications for the home care providers.
You know, we're looking for good people that have a good heart, good judgment, reliable, and willing to be trained. It's not necessary to have a nursing background, although we have LNAs and RNs that work for us. We're looking for Vermonters to open their homes.
And now the Vermont law has actually changed.
It has.
So in some cases, is it a child can take care of a parent?
That's right. And there are a lot of people, certainly around my age, who are now facing, what are they going to do with their mom or dad that need help? And they're willing to provide that support, but they need to work. And so this is a great alternative for people like that to take care of their mom in their home, and they get a tax-free stipend for doing that. And we also provide a budget of respite, so resources so somebody can get a break, because to do this long-term, you need to have those kinds of opportunities to get away.
Sure. So I'm sure that somebody's at 24-hour care, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that?
Right.
But you really help
we
them
help
figure all of that out.
That's right. And some people, there are day programs around the state, and so some of the people that we support go there. Maybe they go 2 days a week. Maybe they are able to do 5. If they're home all the time and their level of support is at all intense, we try to find help to go in and help that provider in the home.
And how is all of this paid for?
It's paid by Medicaid. So the state of Vermont contracts with us as an organization, and then we in turn contract with the provider, the case manager, and develop that package of care. And Medicaid pays for that. There's a room and board that the individual pays out of their Social Security. And we have also developed a private pay model because, you know, there are plenty of Vermonters out there that need the support and don't qualify for Medicaid.
So I can imagine that this is much less expensive than the hospital stay of that woman. And how does it kind of balance out between a nursing home? When you're choosing, do I go to a nursing home or do I, where is that decision point? It probably is the level of care and as well as money.
It's well, you know, we can provide the level of care that is happening in nursing homes. And so we can do that. I mean, the people we're serving right now otherwise would be in a nursing home. And so it really is a person's desire to stay in the community. We have found that having that individual eyes on, knowing somebody, watching for subtleties in behavior that may indicate a medical change has been really positive for people.
So you catch things a lot quicker.
We catch things sooner because it's just the reality of a hospital or a nursing home is that it shift care and it changes. But when you're with somebody and you're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them and you're watching and you may notice a change in behavior that could indicate maybe an infection that could easily be taken care of and not lead to a higher problem.
Right. So you were also talking about the kind of people that do this.
Yeah.
They might have taken care of a sibling at one point
Exactly.
or something else. So,
exactly.
So what does a typical day look like?
Well, you know, people help somebody get up in the morning. Depending on the individual, they're helping them get showered and dressed. And then if they're going to a day program, they may be gone for the day. Or they may be gone for half a day.
So
and
you get a break then, certainly.
You get a break then. And you're taking them out into the community. You're doing typical things that we all do. You know, we had a gentleman, a great guy who was up at the hospital, and he had been there for months. And the family went on vacation to Puerto Rico. They took him with them. And so, I mean, I don't think he'd ever left the country. So it was a wonderful experience for him. And he's part of their family now. Right. And so it's a great alternative for people who are looking for that kind of care.
And what about, again, the providers? What kind of stories do you hear from them about how this is rewarding for them? I mean, certainly if it's a family member, there's a relief factor.
Right, right. That you can take care of mom and you can still have some kind of income. There is a relief in that. But I think, you know, we have found people who they took care of their mom, she passed, and they missed that, you know, kind of giving back, opening their home, and it's very rewarding seeing how much happier people can be, you know, when they're back around familiar surroundings. Even things like family pets is so reinforcing for people to be around.
Right, and I want to make it clear. So somebody who's taking care of a sibling or a younger person, that isn't necessarily like the money is a little bit different. This is in the state of Vermont. The new law is about children taking care of parents.
That's
right,
correct.
Let's just clarify that.
That's right. Children can care for parents. You could care for a sibling. They don't pay spouses to take care of spouses.
Okay.
Or parents to take care of children. But you know, there is such I think most people are familiar with the number of people over 65 that are growing in our state. There's just not enough capacity out there in nursing homes to take care of everybody. And this is a wonderful individualized alternative.
Absolutely. So, right, there isn't even space in nursing homes.
No,
in nursing homes right now. So where in the state are you? It sounds like a lot of this is in the valley, in the Upper Valley, but you're really statewide.
We really are statewide. We're not right now down in Bennington, and we're not up far north, Newport.
So those corners,
not
yet.
We're not there because we want to grow in a responsible way and make sure that we have the resources that we need so that we can be there. I mean, case managers are a big part in providing support to the home provider and the individual. and making sure that everybody is getting what they need, because we want this to last. We want this to be a long-term relationship.
So there's also very good supervision.
There's very good support and supervision, absolutely.
Right. So
yeah.
somebody can also call if, or they
and
know
families,
who to call.
Exactly, and families are very involved. If they are involved and they want to be, they stay involved, and families go. We have a provider who has the sister and her husband come every week for dinner. So it's an extended family.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And one more quick success story, somebody, a really great pairing.
A great pairing was an individual. He had been in a rehab for 5.5 years. A young man had a stroke in his 50s, and he was depressed. It was hard, and we found a woman and her family. She has 2 daughters, and they call him Uncle. And he got out into that home, and he was a musician himself. And he's been reconnected, gone to a movie for the first time in 5 years, going to school plays that the girls have. It's changed his life.
Wonderful program, wonderful. Keep people in the communities,
Yes.
keep people in a home and have that individualized attention. Thank you so much, Marie. And how can Vermonters learn more, whether they're looking for a provider or want to be a provider?
Well, we have a website, VT Comforts of Home, and there's a lot of information there, but we would be happy to talk to you. Our phone number is 802-498-7162.
Okay. Well, Marie, Comforts of Home is another way of looking at this whole thing that we're all, as we all get to a certain age. I'm interested. It sounds pretty good to me. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard.